Essential Pilates. I'm going to start off with cat in standing. So if you come to parallel and then take a nice breath in to prepare, engaging the core. As you breathe out, bend the knees, flex the spine. Breathe in, extend. Breath out, flex. Breathe in, extend. Exhale, flex. And extend. Really moving the spine, giving it a good old flexion extension cycle. We're going to add to this a side stretch over. So we'll do our standing cat, flex, extend, side stretch, over and back. Flex, extend. Changing sides each time we go over the opposite way and back. Flex, extend. Over and back. Flex, extend. Over and back. Wonderful work. We'll work another 2 cycles. And then last one. Okay, softening both knees. Working with your right leg, you're going to tap it out to the side for 8, 7, 6, 5. So you're standing on a bent knee here. 4, 3, and as you tap it out, this leg will go straight. 2 and 1. Keep it out. Lift it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Stay with your right leg as your moving leg. We're going to cross back behind to curtsy and then point. Curtsy and point. Curtsy and point. Curtsy and point. So your standing leg is now bending and straightening. We've got 2 more to go. 1 more. And then we're going to put our curtsy or point with our side leg lift and lower together. So we curtsy, we point, side leg lift and lower. So you've got a lot of work going on in this standing leg. And it's having to stabilise as well as balance. So all good for it. 4 more. 3. 2. Last one. Wonderful. Now keeping your right leg as your moving leg, we're placing our fingers by our ears on our right leg is going to tap back, tap together, tap back, together. And as the leg taps back, the leg should be nice and straight to tap back. We're going to add on, tap back, twist towards your front knee, come out of the twist, bring it together. So standing leg, which is your left leg, is still doing an amazing amount of work, and you might feel that there's quite a lot of work going on in the hip. We're going to change this to a tap back from a knee lift, lift and lower, lift and lower. And then I'm going to add into this knee lift, just like we did with the tap back, the twist. So we lift, twist, return and lower, lift, twist, return and lower. We'll do 2 more. Now we're going to put both of those moves together. So we tap back, twist to the front knee, come out of the twist, tap together, lift the knee, twist to it, come out of the twist together. So we tap, twist to the front knee. Huge element of balance. Your standing leg working incredibly hard. And working here on your shoulders and your arms. You're going to feel them working really, really hard. We're going to challenge ourselves and speed up the movement so it becomes a tap and a twist, a knee lift with a twist. Tap and a twist, a knee lift with a twist. Try for 6 more. Twist and lift. 5 and lift. 4, lift. 3, lift, 2, lift, last one. And then when we lift, releasing the arms. Now we're going to do everything again but on the left. So if you start in softening, left leg taps to the side and back to the centre. Standing knee is bent, and this is our right leg now that we're standing on. We're going for 2 more. And then on the last one, we keep the leg out and it becomes a lift, lower. So we're working the outer thigh here. Mine has worked incredibly hard, stabilizing for that last set of exercises. This knee's still bent, this leg is straight. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. This leg crosses back, it becomes a curtsy and a tap. Curtsy, tap, curtsy, tap, curtsy and tap. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now our curtsy tap goes into side leg, raise and lower. So we curtsy, we tap to the side, side leg, lift and lower. 6 more to go. Curtsy, tap. So all this work here is standing glute work that we're doing. You're going to feel this in your buttock, down through your thigh, maybe even into your knee and down into your lower leg. This is our last one. And then we're keeping that left leg as our back leg, standing on the front leg, fingers by the ears, holding the shoulder girdle in retraction. So we've got lunge to tap, straight leg lunge to tap, lunge to tap. Then we add a rotation. So we lunge, we rotate to the front knee, come out of the rotation and tap. Lunge, rotate to front knee. 2 more to go. Maintain that feeling of pressing those elbows back. Knee lift, left leg lifts and lowers, lifts and lowers. Okay, add a twist. So lift the knee, twist towards it. Come out of the twist, release the knee, a bit close to the door there. Lift, twist, untwist and release. Lift, twist, untwist and release. 1 more. And then we'll put the moves together. So we go straight leg lunge back, twist to the front knee, come out of the twist, come out of the lunge. Knee lift, twist to the knee, come out of the twist, come out of the knee. So we tap, twist, release, step together, knee lift, twist, release and together. Tap, twist, release and together, knee lift, twist, release and together. 1 more slow. Tap, twist, release together, knee lift, twist, release together. Now put them together fast, so it's tap and twist, knee and twist, tap and twist, knee and twist. 6 more, come on, we can do it. Pressing the elbows back, keeping the shoulder girdle retracted. 5, stay tall. 4, 3, last 2. You're doing really well. Last 1. Okay, after this last one, we can release those arms, give the shoulders a roll back. Wonderful work. Start to work on your foot pedals, working through range of movement in your foot. Think about peeling your heel, nice and high, stretching through the muscles, running down the front of the foot and into the shin. Stay nice and stable in terms of rib cage locked onto pelvis, so you're not wiggling. Now we're going to lead into a few exercises now that are really going to challenge our ankles, they're really going to challenge our balance. So you may want to be by a wall or by a chair so you've got some support. You'll be fine with the next one, which is double heels. Let's do that. Raise and lower, she says as she falls over herself. Raise and lower. Always heading towards our big toe with our double heel raise, making sure that when we lift, we don't do this. We don't want to be going out towards our little toes. That changes the alignment of the legs in the hip. We always want to stay parallel and try to keep everything straightened up in parallel so it's even from inside to outside, even from front to back. So this is where it's going to get really tough, okay? I'm going to hold the knee raise. I'm going to hold onto the wall to show you. You're going to lift one knee, lower the heel, lift the heel and lower that knee. And you're going to change legs, lift the opposite knee, lower the heel, lift the heel, release that knee. So we raise the knee, lower the heel, lift the heel, lower the knee. Still try to be as precise in terms of your foot placement. So you're staying high, low, lift it back to the high position before you put the knee down. So you're high, lift the knee, lower, lift, place it down. And then when you get good at this, you can coordinate your knee lift with your heel lower so that it becomes a much more flowing movement. But what it isn't, it's not this. Okay, make sure that you're actually actively lifting your knee at the same time that you lower the heel. And then you're lowering the knee at the same time that you lift the heel. So in effect, you're doing a one leg, calf lower, calf lift, calf lower, calf lift. And as you get good at it, come away from the wall, challenge your balance with it, and try to keep balanced, working through those feet. Go one more on each side. Wonderful. And then we'll release it. We focus on shoulder girdle. We'll work the movement called windows next. Now, I'm just going to show you what this looks like. So window starts from a position where your arms are here, but your scapula is retracted, so you are pulling your shoulders back. You bring your arms into bent position, rotate, reach and pull through to your start position. Now, in order to get feedback, you can either lie down on your back, where you've got the feedback of the mat on the floor, or this is actually a really, really good position to do it in, seated or standing against the wall. So you've also got better feedback for vertical posture upright. And if you're against the wall, your feet are away from the wall, your knees are soft, but your sacrum, your shoulder girdle and the back of your skull is pressed against the wall. And then when you take your arms out, that's the difference between not having your shoulder girdle retracted, so it's protracted when you reach forward. So retract your shoulder girdle. Elbows, can you touch the wall? Forearms and hands, can you touch the wall without flexing your wrists? So it's the backs of your hands that you're really trying to touch the wall here. Can you keep everything touching the wall as you extend and then pull through? Upper arms. Watch the position of your spine here as you go into external rotation of your shoulder joint. So sometimes spines will do this and start to pop in order for us to get our arms down. So be very, very strict with your movements. Keep you neutral. Work the shoulders. We'll go for two more. And last one. Okay, releasing through. Excellent work. Now, it's the front of your shoulder capsule that will sometimes be restrictive. So our next exercise is going to put this into a stretch position with the front of the shoulder capsule. We're using a W arm. If you find that when you're lying on your back with your arms in W, you cannot get your elbows and the backs of your hands onto the mat at the same time, and you're either doing this or doing this, I would advise you to put something underneath your forearms so that your elbows and the backs of your hands can be in exactly the same position relative to each other, okay? And that should give you the stretch that you need across your shoulder joints. So you want your wrists and your elbows to be flat horizontally, not like this, not like this, okay? So putting your elbows on the floor and keeping your hands up will not stretch your shoulder. You have to get the rotation, and you're only going to get that rotation by stacking if you need to. So we'll do a knee roll with our arms in a W position. Now I can get my elbows and forearms to the floor, so I don't need to put anything underneath them. You may find that it's one arm or both arms that need support, but do take the time to set this exercise up correctly. So if you're working through the video and you're going, oh, actually, yeah, I can't do it, then each time you come to do it, get the books or the blocks that you need to lift your arms to the relative level that you can feel stretch, but you can get the straight line. Legs are glued together. We're rotating. Pelvis, knees, feet, all as one fixed unit, side to side. And because we want this to be stretched, go as far as you can. Really try to press your knees over to the side. Let your pelvis come off entirely. And that will give you the stretch that you need through the shoulder capsule. I don't know if you clocked that then, but my wrist started to do that. So I've had to really work on pressing that wrist down. So as my knees are rolling to the right here, the muscles in my left arm are quite tight. Many years ago, I used to play the violin, and that used to be the arm that I'd hold the violin with. So all of the muscles in that arm adapted beautifully to being able to hold a violin for extended periods of time, because that's what I needed them to do. And now that I want them to stay down here, they're finding it really, really tricky. You might get the same thing if you work with a mouse in one hand all the time and you're doing all your mouse work with one arm forwards. So you might find that it's just one arm that's not doing what you want it to do. And again, it's usually because of our everyday habits, or the hobbies that we have, and our body adapts so that we can do those hobbies effortlessly for an extended period of time. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're very good for our posture, unfortunately, unless one of your hobbies happens to be walking around with a book on your head. That'd be good. We make this our last time to each side with knee rolls before releasing the arms. And then we're going to move on to sideline spine rotations. We will use an open door arm line with this. So again, we're in this position that's going to put the stretch through the pectoralis minor, and it's usually that muscle that gets really, really short if we're having any issues and it's difficult for us to actually move our shoulder girdle and get our shoulder blades back. So offset position, feet and knees stacked in on top of each other, right angle at the hip, right angle at the knee, neutral spine, something underneath our head to keep the neck neutral. We'll take a breath in, engage the core and reach, breath out, rotate. Pause for a breath in and breath out to close. We'll go again. Now the addition of a very, very small weight, something around about half a kilo, which is about a pound, into the top arm, we'll put a little bit of additional stretch into those muscles at the front of the shoulder when we're in our rotated position. So do feel free to add a weight there if you have one, or just a can from the cupboard. That would be quite a nice light weight to be working with. We go for one more. Wonderfully done. Now we are going to follow our sideline spine rotations with sideline leg lift series. I'm going to work on an extended arm, both legs straight, but if you do need to pop something underneath your head to support your neck, please do so. So top leg, we'll point the toe, lift, flex, lower. Now I'm going to do 6 repetitions at each level. Point, lift, flex, lower. So this is level 1, working the ankle and also the outer thigh. Last time. Level 2 is the ankle, so we point the toe, we lift to the top and then we circle 6, getting full range of movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We reverse. It's actually not the ankle, it should be the leg. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We release it. And then level 3 is definitely a staggered leg lift. So we lift the top leg, squeeze the bottom leg up to touch it and lower. So this gives us outer thigh, inner thigh, lower than both, outer thigh, inner thigh, lower than both. And your alignment is crucial, particularly with this bottom leg. Make sure that you don't do this, touching your toes together, because then you've medially rotated that bottom leg. We want to keep the legs parallel, adduct them. One more. Okay, both legs together, let's raise and lower. And with this one, if you think about lifting with your bottom leg, that will emphasize the inner thigh work on that leg. We'll go for 2 more. We'll continue to work double leg raise, but we're putting head and shoulders into it. So we raise both ends of the body and release them down. Keeping the alignment in the legs, making sure that our heels don't rotate away from each other. The work now is going to be here in the waist and the top of the body. And we've got 3 more to go. And 2. Last one. And we'll take a break, bending the knees and stretching the thigh on the top leg with our quad stretch on our side. Releasing our leg. Okay. So for the next one, we're going to work with knees bent again, but this time we're going to be propped up onto the elbow. Now we don't want to be just resting on the elbow so we're all nicely relaxed. We actually want to be lifted here, spine in neutral. So you've got a nice straight line, crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. Engage the core muscles, reach the arm to the ceiling, and then we're going to raise and lower. Raise and lower. So we've got dynamic shoulder loading of this bottom shoulder, but we're also working here on our core strength, and you'll feel the muscles in your waist have to work harder when your pelvis is off the floor and you're on the knee. We've got 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Whoa, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Come to seated. Sitting on a block if you need to help sit upright with correct posture. I definitely need to at the moment. Now, again, focusing here on scapular retraction, on squeezing the shoulder blades back. That affects the position of the shoulder joint. So you're going to sit in neutral, squeeze the shoulders back, bring the arms to W, and try to have here your elbows and your hands so that they're behind your body as you twist and return. Twist and return. So you can just about see your hands out the corners of your eyes as you're twisting. So your focus here is on really trying to squeeze your shoulders back rather than to turn very far. Go 1 more in each direction. And then release the arms. Oh, they are feeling it there, the arms. Elbows tucked in to your waist. And we're rotating, keeping the shoulders back again, so you're squeezing back. And rotating. External rotation at the shoulder joint. You can have palms facing, you can have palms up. And it's this end point that you're working. The inner bit here, not important. It's this push out, push out, push out. Yeah? Push out, push out, push out. As far back as you can. Really stretch those muscles, get those shoulders behind you. 1 more. And release, give them a roll. Half roll back, modified to I to J. Flexion's coming from here, so there's the scoof, yeah? So there's your I, there's your J. There's your I, there's your J. So it's all from this bit. What it shouldn't be is this. So we don't want to see hunching into here. So find your J, roll back, exhale, inhale. You can of course stay with stacking from I to J if that is better for you to work through. We'll make these our last two and final one. Now we will be working down on our back. If you need a pad underneath your head, take it with you, pop it underneath your head once you're on your back. That will put your neck in a more suitable position, particularly if when you lie on your back your chin tends to poke up. This should just bring everything into a position where your neck doesn't feel strained. You can keep it neutral. So we're placing pelvis and spine to neutral. Legs are parallel, feet far enough away that you've got a right angle at your knee. We'll do ab prep. Focusing again on scapular retraction. So if you squeeze your shoulders back, put your fingers behind your ears, but keep the elbows back. And then nod your head. Exhale, raise it. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Inhale, nod the head. And as you do, engage your core. Exhale, raise. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Inhale, nod the head. Exhale, raise. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Nod. Raise. Hold. And lower. Last time. We nod. We raise. We hold. And then we lower. We're going to do hip lift next to bring us into an outer bridge. I'm going to get rid of the pad because I'm bridging. Pop it over there. If you get a lot of hamstring cramps, bring heels a little bit closer. And we'll work on buttocks to do hip lift in an outer bridge. Shoulders go back, arms are pressed down hard, core muscles are engaged. We pick the pelvis up, we place it down. We pick it up, so you clench your buttocks. All the work is here with the hip lift to come in and out of bridge. Hip lift, hip lower, hip lift, hip lower. Two more, and on the last one we're going to stay in bridge. Keep pushing down with the arms, keep the buttocks clenched. Extend your right leg. Ankle, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. One more, flex and point. Release the right leg, release from the bridge. We're going to do that again. We'll work with the left leg. Now I'm going to show you the modified form this time. That's quite hard to actually stay in bridge, extend the leg and do the flex and point, especially if you're managing any issues with the sacrum and it's a little bit unstable. So we're doing a set of 6 hip lifts, hip lowers that everybody will be able to do. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then on the last one, if you're strong enough to stay in bridge and not lose any height, you're going to stay here. You'll be extending your left leg this time to do flex and point. However, if you've got SI instability, bring your pelvis down, extend your left leg here. Go. Flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex and point. Twice more with the ankle. Flex, point, flex and point. Release the leg. Let's go again. Lift. 6, lower. 5, 4, 3, 2. On the last one, if you're strong enough, stay here. If not, come down, extend the leg, thighs parallel. Flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. 2 more, flex, point, last one, flex and point. Release the leg, hips down if you're in the lifted position. 1 more set. Lift, 6, lower, 5, 4, 3, 2, and again 1. Hold it here if you're strong enough. If not, pelvis goes down. Extend your leg, thighs parallel, ankle, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex and point. 2 more, flex, point, last one, flex and point. Release it down, releasing from the bridge. Super work. So following the bridge, we are now going to work on heel slide and opposite arm extension. Aim here is to stay neutral. So we're working on pelvic stability and spine stability. Diagonally across the body, slide one heel away as you extend the opposite arm, bring it back through. So make sure that your tummy muscles are staying flat, your pelvis is staying nice and still. It's not rocking from side to side, it's not tipping forwards and backwards. This is the level 1 exercise. Extend both arms for the level 2 exercise. Not quite got enough room above my head there. And then if you're working at your level 3 exercise, the hardest level, both arms, both heels extending and returning. We're keeping everything nice and flat in terms of abdominal activation. Again, nice and heavy into the back of the pelvis so you can feel the same point of contact between the back of the pelvis and the mat. When your legs and your arms are moving, we'll make these our last 2. I'm going back to this level. And then on our final one, we shall release it from there. Now, having worked that core stability, we're going to integrate all of the muscles into the abdominals and the waist with single leg stretch and crisscross obliques. Bring legs to tabletop, tuck your head, rock up to the top of the ab prep. We bring one knee in and extend the opposite leg away for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Placing the fingers by the ears, elbows are back, so we're still in scapular retraction here when we add the rotations, and it's the front of your shoulder that you're twisting towards the opposite knee. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. And then we will release it down. We're going to do all of our side-facing exercises on the opposite side. Starting with our rotations, side lying, open door, arm line. Stacking the legs, right angle at the hip, right angle at the knee. We've also got the right angle at the elbow for the open door arm line. Neutral spine, we engage the core as we breathe in and reach to the ceiling. We're looking at the arm. Exhale to rotate. Hold the end point. Breath in and breath out to close. Breathe in, engage the core. Reach, exhale, rotate. Inhale, hold. Exhale, return. Engage. Reach. So our rotation, we're trying to roll onto our back. Don't let the gesture arm go out of your line of vision. Last 2 repetitions, breath in, engage, and reach, breath out, rotate, breath in to hold, and breath out to close, and then last one, breath in, engage, and reach, breath out, rotate, breath in to hold, and breath out to release it. Side lying leg lift. We extend. I promise to get stage 2 right this time. We'll engage the core, and with the top leg we point, lift, flex, lower, point, lift, flex, lower, point, lift, flex, lower, point, lift, flex, and lower. 2 more. Point, lift, flex, lower. Last one. Point, lift, flex, and lower. So stage 2 is leg circles. It's not ankle circles. We point the toe, we lift the leg from the hip. We circle for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We reverse the circle for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We release the leg. Now we've got staggered leg lift. So we raise the top leg, squeeze the bottom leg up to touch it, lower them together, raise the top leg, squeeze the bottom leg, and lower. Top leg, bottom leg, and lower. Top leg, bottom leg, and lower for 2 more. Top leg, bottom leg and lower. One more. Top leg, bottom leg, and then both legs at the same time, raising for 6 repetitions and lower. Concentrating here on the bottom leg, so you're pushing the top leg up with your bottom leg. We've got 2 more to go. And 1 more. Now let's add this upper body. So raising both ends and lower. Raise both ends and lower. 4 more. 3. 2. And last one. Okay. Stretch your thigh, top leg. Do remember to go into a posterior pelvic tilt here. It will give you a greater stretch down the front of that thigh, so you're focusing on trying to tuck your tail between your legs for your posterior pelvic tilt. The curve in your lower back will get a little bit flatter. Pushing up onto the elbow, we bring those legs forwards again and we lengthen. Lift the arm. Let's load the shoulder. So we lift the pelvis, rolling onto the lower leg and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So you're going to need to think about pushing into your elbow with this movement to lift the body up. 4 more and lower. 3 more and lower. My arm is shaking. 2 more. Last one. Wonderful work, everyone. Dart and side bend. Legs are parallel and adducted, so squeeze your heels together, squeeze your knees together. Keep a good inner thigh connection. Visualize being wrapped in cling film from your waist all the way down to your toes. Arms are down by the sides. I'm going to do shoulder girdle retraction, shoulder joint rotation, lumbar flexion, and then bend to the side. Return to the center, release down to the mat. Work the retraction again. Retract, rotate, extend lumbar spine. Bend to the opposite side, come back to the center, release to the mat. Release the arms. So it's shoulder girdle retraction, shoulder joint rotation, and lumbar spine extension. Now that's your dart position. So you should feel long and straight, like a dart being thrown into a dartboard. All up until the point that you bend to the side. And then you're a wonky dart. So try now to put your shoulder girdle retraction, shoulder joint rotation and lumbar extension all together in one move. So up you come before you bend. Release the bend, release it down. Bring it up into the bend. Release the bend, release it down. We'll make this our last one. Wonderful work. Okay, so from that last one, we are now going to work on a one leg kick, and I would like you to come up into your Sphinx position and bring your legs to your parallel position. Again, we've got a little bit of ankle movement with this one, so we're maintaining spine extension, we're maintaining shoulder girdle, drawing down the back, so depression of the shoulder girdle, so you're pressing the shoulders down, and we go with the ankle, heel, toe, release, change legs, heel, toe, release, heel, toe, release, heel, toe, release, heel, toe, release, heel, toe, release. Think about, where are my shoulders? Are they still down? Or have they lifted up? One more to each side. Last time through. and then we'll release it out of our Sphinx position. Next movement is a hip extension, and we're going to mimic standing up position with this one. So if you place your hands underneath your head, adduct your legs together, so you're parallel adducted, and flex your feet so your toes are tucked under. Put your hand on your head. Both legs, tighten the thighs and contract the buttocks. Now that will lift your kneecap off the floor and some part of the front of your thigh off the floor as well. Then from here, keeping the thighs tight, I would like you to do alternate leg lifts and leg lowers, keeping the thighs nice and tight as you raise and lower the legs. So your movement is from your buttock right at the back of the hip joint. You're working statically through the muscles of the quadriceps to maintain the knees straight. And we'll go for one more on each side. Having finished our last one, we will relax the legs down, tuck the toes and move to the edges of the mat, pushing our hands in front of our shoulders to extend ourselves into and then out of our cobra. Getting a lovely, lovely spine extension. Nice depression of the shoulder girdle as well. 4 more cycles. I've got a creaky foot against the mat. Last time. As we come out of our last one, we're going to sit back into shell stretch, bending everything back the opposite way. So sit onto your heels, flex as low as you can over the front of your thighs. Try to get your head onto the mat. Have your arms as long as you can. I'm just going to pop a pad underneath my head here. And relax into the stretch. One more cycle of breath in and out in shell. Releasing. Okay, we're going to load our arms and we're going to do a 4-point kneeling neutral sway forwards, bend our elbows, straighten our elbows. And the upper arms we want to get close to our torso. Okay, so we've got our hands under shoulders, knees underneath hips and spine in neutral. We're going to sway forwards. And then as we bend our elbows, you tuck in your arms towards your body, straighten, sway back. The further forward you sway, the harder this is going to be. Your forearms do not touch the floor, okay? So occasionally I've seen in class people do this and push their forearms to the floor when they bend their elbows. That is definitely not what we want to see. We want to see upper arms coming closer to your torso, or your torso coming closer to your upper arms, rather than your lower arms going down towards the mat, okay? So yes, that is still bending your elbows, but it is not loading into your triceps. So our exercise is to sway, bend, bringing your upper arms towards your torso, straighten, sway back, sway forwards. Now your bend may not be as low as mine, but that is fine. You bend your elbows just to the range where you can keep your spine neutral before you straighten them and sway back. Let's go one more. We sway, we bend, we straighten, and we sway back. Okay, releasing. Just give your wrists a shake. Now your next move is going to be scapular retraction. That's this movement. But we are going to do a loaded scapular retraction, and we're going to do it in 4-point kneeling. Now if you find that this isn't for you, you can do your scapular retractions just as I'm doing them now, kneeling up, squeezing your shoulder blades together, separating them apart. But we come back to our 4-point position. This time Our elbows do not bend, our body drops down and pushes up, drops down and pushes up. We're squeezing our shoulder blades towards each other, and that will drop our torso down and push it up. Drop it down and push it up. So shoulder girdle retracts, protracts, retracts, protracts, retracts, protracts. One more, retracts, protracts, and we release back into shell stretch, taking it to one side and holding it. Releasing the stretch to take it to the opposite side and hold it there. And then releasing to centre and rolling up into high kneeling. I'm going to go to hip flexor stretch, stepping the leg forwards. I'll go for a long step and a sway. Let's add triceps into the hip flexor stretch, because they've worked fairly hard with the positions that we've been asking our shoulder girdle to get into. Release the arm. Now, to get from hip flexor stretch to hamstring, you sway back. If you keep your toe down and stick your bum up into the air, that should isolate your hamstring. Again, that's going to depend on the flexibility in your ankle, so it's quite tough in terms of ankle flexibility to keep the toes on the floor. But if you have your leg in this position, that tends to get upper calf stretch rather than hamstring. So if you can, try to keep your toes down. Let's release it and change legs. So we'll sway forwards into hip stretch. Imagine that you're working towards doing the splits. Add triceps on the opposite arm this time. And then we'll release the arm, we'll sway back into hamstring, sticking your bottom up in the air, keeping the curve in your back. Try to avoid doing this because this is really bad in terms of your postural position. So it's always shoulders back, shoulders down, sticking your bottom up into the air. Get as close to it as you can. None of us are perfect, but we're all heading in the right direction with everything that we're trying to do. Okay, we're going to release it. Now when we come to standing, we are going to use a standing calf stretch. I actually find leaning against a wall really good with these standing calf stretches. So when you have your back leg straight and your front leg bent and you lean into the calf, that gets the bigger of the calf muscles. It's called the gastrocnemius, and it's this big bulky one that sits right at the top. Well, it's definitely big and bulky on me, to the top of your calf. But big and bulky is fine as far as I'm concerned. Big and bulky means nice and strong. Strong legs get you to the top of mountains, whether you're on bicycles or feet. Now to get the lower calf muscle, we bring the back leg in. And again, the wall's really good because it lets you lean into it. And you're pushing this bent knee down. There's hardly any weight on your front leg. That stretch, you're going to feel lower down towards your Achilles tendon and right into the bottom bit of your lower calf area here. Lovely. Now when we do the other leg, I'll lean on this wall, you'll get a different view. So this is our upper calf stretch, our gastrocnemius. And then when we bring the leg in, we bend that back knee. You're pushing the knee down and you're trying to get into the soleus, either side of the Achilles. You're going to feel this one. Wonderful, and release. Let's finish with chest stretch, linking the fingers together. You're extending the arms back. And then hold the elbows, drop the chin to the chest, stretch in between those shoulder blades. They've worked quite hard with those scapular push-ups. Releasing and take a nice deep breath in. Extend to the ceiling to finish. Great work, well done.